In just a couple short weeks, the Sega Genesis Mini 2 and the Megadrive Mini 2 are set to launch. Amazon exclusives, mind you. And this has caused some concern and issues for some people, certain regions not being able to order this device. It's slowly popping up in other countries and whatnot. And the time is now. Now, if you waited, are you still going to be able to get one of these? We've been talking about this since early on. That fear of missing out, those tactics that I think may be being weaponized here to a degree. There's no specific numbers that have been announced concerning how many of these have been produced, but for the North American version, the Sega Genesis Mini 2, it was kind of spoken on that, hey, it's only going to be a very small run of these, about 10% of what the first one was. And with the first Genesis Mini, these things were sold all over the place, all over your face. Every store had them. They were stocked up out the ass. No mistakes were made as far as availability. It wasn't a thing like Nintendo where you couldn't find their mini devices. People were buying them up. The Sega Genesis was fairly common, easy to come across. And this time, unfortunately, it is definitely not the case. So, you know, we've looked at the trailers, all the games that have been announced. I don't really want to, retread all of that. But I do think the Japanese version, I kind of like it better. But I'm going to stick with the US one because the game list, at least I'll be able to understand every game that I play on it. And I do realize a lot of people, this is not what they wanted. Another Genesis Mini, why not a Dreamcast Mini, a Saturn Mini, something, hell, even a Sega Master System Mini would have been cool. I do think there's some awesome games here. There really are, but yeah, it's just another Genesis Mini that has Sega CD games this time, where you could have taken the first one and added a bunch of games. You could have hacked it and all that good stuff. But yeah, the Japanese one, couple games I was really hoping for were the Lunar games, and I understand the reason why we're not getting them, but it is fairly unfortunate. So going to the places where these things are available to order, which is only on Amazon. Now, Amazon.com for the US of A, it is currently unavailable. And this is very recent. The price kept fluctuating a little bit. It'd be like $104, $97, $99, that kind of thing. And remember, too, this wasn't a product that Amazon in the US was going to stock and actually ship to you. You weren't getting that Amazon Prime, maybe a couple days shipping like you normally would if, which you really don't get 2-day shipping. It'd be like, oh, you're getting that shit a week later, if ever, type of thing, paying for Prime. Doesn't really seem like it's much of a benefit anymore. But it was being shipped by Amazon Japan. So you were paying the additional shipping fee, which they did allow expedited and then standard, and it was only a few dollars more type of thing. And you weren't going to get it on release. You may get it a few days past. For me, my order says I should get it, I believe, by November 1st through the 3rd, somewhere around there. But definitely not October 27th. So that's the U.S. Amazon. Sold out. Unavailable. Who knows if any more will pop up, if they'll be restocked, or if order cancellations will, reflow back into this listing. But if you wanted the U.S. version, as of the recording of this video, you kind of shit out of luck. Now, if you go to, which one is this? Oh, Amazon.co.uk. So the UK Amazon. We do have the Megadrive Mini 2 for $104 or their currency, not $104, but that'll translate to something. Let me see. What does that turn into in US dollars? $117. Okay. So you're going to probably, it's shipping like 130 or so out the door. And this one has the same titles as the US version. But you got that, Mega Drive instead of Genesis, which the US, the only place that it was called Genesis. So, depending on what you really care about, this may be an option here. It's going to be the same games as the US version. Just, the red buttons, the red start button, and Mega Drive branding instead of Genesis. But it's the same thing. It's still available. Typically, you can order from Amazon UK. I've done it plenty of times, in the past. And this is one I haven't ordered because there was no reason, right? Now, if you go to the Amazon Japan listing, they had multiple versions being sold. the Japanese version, the Japanese exclusive Megadrive Mini 2. And I noticed no matter which one of these I click on, none of them are available through Amazon Japan. You click see buying options, and everything is being sold by third-party sellers, unfortunately. So they did have, like, one that came with a power adapter, one that does not, and they're all being, priced up from third-party sellers. And then they did have the US version listed here as well, and this one, same thing, third-party seller. It's just not available. This controller's coming out as well, and that thing's sold out. This thing is like $200. I don't know if it's really going to be worth the asking price here, but it is an interesting controller. But all this stuff is selling out other than Amazon UK. Now, I think it may be up on a couple other foreign to me, Amazon websites. Not 100%, because there's an Amazon for like Spain, Italy, France, Germany. May still be available on some of those sites. It may be worth digging into. If you're interested in this one, from Europe, in particular UK, I'll put a link down below if you want to grab it. I know, I'm kind of really conflicted on this release with the way it's being handled, the fear of missing out thing, them throwing it out there. 10% of the total that was shipped for the first one, so you snooze, you lose, and that's kind of the way it's looking. I'm sure on Play Asia they'll have models you could pick up from there. There's going to be options, but to get it for the initial price listed may not be happening for those versions of the system. It's just kind of a weird release. It's interesting. I'm always excited for this kind of stuff, but this time, I'm getting one. I'm going to review it on the channel. I'm going to play around with it, all that good stuff, but it just isn't as exciting as I would have hoped it to be. And with seeing all this, how it's going down a couple weeks before launch, they're selling out everywhere. Kind of weird. The Japanese version, they specifically said they were mostly going to be focusing on the Japanese market, and to see that right now Amazon Japan itself is sold out, it's only third-party sellers, kind of strikes me as odd. Like, it's a little strange. So let me know what you guys think. I know Dreamcast Mini would have been awesome. Shit, a Sega Saturn Mini would have been sweet. Even a Master System Mini would have been awesome. And I know it's easier said than done. We could all hope for certain things. Let me know down below. What do you think on this? Did you get in on a Mega Drive or a Genesis Mini 2? Are you looking forward to it? There's some sick games. I ain't gonna lie. I'm interested in that part. But if you already got the first one, you can hack it, all that stuff. This one is supposed to have a more powerful single board computer in it. So that could help with certain emulation, maybe. We'll have to wait and see how it goes as far as hacking and all that good stuff. But comment down below. Appreciate you guys. Bye.